Hey, all, welcome back to Attacking Third. We have some congratulations to give out because the London City Lionesses have made history. They are the first team with no affiliation with a men's club to earn a place in the Barclays Women's Super League. They were promoted to the WSL for the first time in their history after clinching the women's championship title last Sunday. They avoided defeat. It was a 2-2 draw with second place Birmingham. But now they have been promoted. The biggest thing that comes out of this promotion from Michelle Kang, who has invested so much money into this club, is making sure that they don't get relegated again, because the last two teams to be promoted to the WSL have gone right back down. Crystal Palace, they were in the WSL for this last season, and now they're going back down from the top flight. This is huge for the Lionesses. Absolutely massive. Congratulations to them. But this changes things because they don't have a men's affiliate, Jen, that now they're promoted to the top flight. Does this represent perhaps a shift in English women's professional soccer?
I think so. I think there's been such a disappointment when, teams like Crystal Palace, Reading, Bristol City have been promoted into WSL and then been relegated within a season. I honestly think this is going to shake up women's football in England, because there's been also a lot of negative chat around Manchester United women over the years, even Wolves recently, about not having the investment. I think there's so many pros and cons about having that affiliation with the men's team, but ultimately, if there's no investment there and you've got standalone investors like Michelle Kang willing to just trust the process and know that women's football is only doing one thing, it's growing, and investment is a positive. But I think genuinely, Kumagai, Kosa Aslani, Sophia Jakobsen, the players they brought in already to play at Championship, I cannot wait to see who they bring in this summer, because the quotes already coming out is they want to be a mid-table team already. They're not even thinking about being relegated. They want to go and compete, and that is awesome. I think especially after you've seen record-breaking signings from Chelsea with Naomi Girma coming into the league, Michelle Kang's going to blow it all out of the park, I think. It's awesome. It's such an exciting time. I'm getting wound up talking about it just because it's just really cool. It's different, and I think that's what's great to see. I think I've seen all the positives of how it works over in the NWSL and how you're your standalone team, and that link between the ownership is so apparent. So to see London City Lionesses do it, and it go down to the wire, by the way. That's a competitive league. And to go to the final game of the season, that game was televised, just shows how competitive that league is for Tier 2. It's so cool.
I was so excited when I saw Kosavari Aslani transfer over to the Lionesses, and then Sophia Jakobsen, because I'm like, what are they doing? What are they about to do this season? You know what I mean? They got some big dogs on that team, but it doesn't even surprise me that Michelle Kang worked her magic. So fun fact, I got to watch this brilliant woman speak a few years ago, Michelle Kang. I was in DC. I went to a women's summit, and she was talking about what vision she had for women's football globally, not just the spirit. She's like, if the spirit don't succeed, that's not on me. I'm gonna make sure I'm taking care of my team and my girls, basically. She went over to Europe in the men's EPL league and went to different facilities, Tottenham being one of them. Okay, what are you guys doing to manage your players? Okay, how are you guys taking care of your players? How is it that you guys are succeeding? How is it that you guys have the least amount of injuries? I mean, she got every little detail from the EPL and is applying that with any teams that she is part owner for. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what she did for London City. And it doesn't even surprise me that they succeeded, because this is one of the few owners that is actually taking care of her team in and out, no matter what.
A lot of people could say, yeah, that's easy to do when you have billions of dollars. But the Michelle Kang effect is not just about money, because she is making very intentional, not just business moves, but smart moves about investment and education into the women's specific fitness and research and understanding how the game works, not necessarily by her, but hiring people to do that. And she makes these moves immediately as they happen, right? You look at Washington Spirit and what she did to turn around that club, Lyon as well. But when Michelle Kang came in and said, I'm buying London City, that was December of 2023. A year and a half later, they're promoted to the WSL. And the moves that she made, you guys both mentioned it. Aslani, Sofia Jakobsen, the Swedish internationals coming in, the ex-Barcelona midfielder Maria Perez. They brought in head coach Jocelyn French, I don't know, my Scottish French friend over there. The former PSG coach, they brought in experienced Champions League high-level players into this club. Yes, money helps to bring them in, but when you have an owner that is telling you their vision for the club, it's not just to be promoted, but it is to be a mid WSL table team, to be higher than that. And it wasn't just experience too, right? They brought in Izzy Goodwin, the 22-year-old English international who was the championship's top goal scorer from the previous year. This year as well, 16 goals in just 18 matches. She won the league in the Golden Boot race. And then she announces, okay, we're going to build a 23-acre training facility as well. So not only am I going to bring in players and coaches and provide the talent that is needed, I'm also going to provide the stability around you in the staff that I'm building up and the resources I'm putting into it, which means that I firmly believe when she says that we're going to build a team to be at a minimum in the WSL for years and at a minimum mid-table. I believe her, hands down.
No, for sure. I think, you know, a lot of women's teams, I think, in Europe feel like a little bit of a box tick. You know, they have the name, they have the shirt, they wear the badge, but there's no investment. And I think with Michelle Kang and the way she invests, it's the complete opposite. She sees the vision, she's putting money to the most important parts, whether it's research, exactly what you're saying, Lisa, facilities, what's going to make these players in the best possible place to go and perform and win games and be promoted. And I think that's just such a shakeup. And I think we might see more of it. But I think a lot of people back in December 2023, when you're talking about the time she took over, were like, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
And to see it blossom of what it's turned into is awesome.
We just talked about, Jess, all these different players in Europe that are potentially have contracts coming up this summer. It's not always the biggest and the brightest to go to a team that has just been promoted to the top flight. But Michelle Kang, does she make it seem a desirable destination to go to London City?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? It's like, oh, okay, what did she do for this team? Is it worth going? Okay, let me do my research. I have friends on that team. I would contact them. Hey, what has your experience been like? Let me know everything. But just to be able to bump up into the first league, it's nothing short of amazing. And so I think that it looks good on paper, but, you know, as a player, I'd want to do my research first to make sure, okay, outside looking in, it looks nice, but being in it, it can be different. And so, I mean, I know Michelle Kang is taking care of her players, honestly, at the end of the day, but yeah, it seems really nice to go there now. Yeah.
It seems like they like her too. They let her do the trophy lift.
Right.
They won, which I think says a lot.
So I love that, because I was thinking about that. I was going to ask, like, is that normal for, in an American perspective, NWSL, for the owner to present the trophy? Because it's definitely not in England. I would honestly go as far as saying, I don't think I've ever met an owner playing for clubs in England. That's the distance that there is and the scale of the clubs that you're at. Whereas when it's a standalone entity, you have your owner, the person who's putting everything into it, present you. I thought it was awesome. I think the connection's amazing. I think it's so similar to NWSL with the close connection you can have when you're the only team. I thought it was awesome. I loved it.
Jen, I would say that in American sports, where we could look just at the NWSL, the owners that are invested in the individuals of the team and the success of the personnel versus, hey, they're just doing this because it was a charity for so long. And I think that might still be a little bit of the narrative in England. It's like, okay, whatever. A lot of the teams that are associated with men's programs, it's like, okay, yeah, we've checked this box. Yeah. So no, the owners aren't going to be as involved, but there are there are owners that are involved, right? You look at Bay FC and they're incredible former U.S. women's national teams that are involved. Angel City, they made owning Angel City cool. They made it a thing. They made it a cool club that you want to be part of. So it does happen in the NWSL, but not that often. And I think there's two folds to it. Sometimes the owners are like, it's not about me. I want to be in the back. Not that Michelle Kang wants it to be about her, but I think she has a personal connection with these players and these teams that she's bringing up.
I would say as a player that I would say you love that, because I think you want to know what especially as an experienced, I think when you're looking at Aslani and Jakobsen and Kumagai, all the players that have been there, done it, and are so, I love that tactical move of bringing them in. I was like, that is fascinating. But they would have been so intrigued from the business side of stuff. They would have been the ones asking the questions, and to be in that kind of seat and have the ability to do that with an owner is unheard of in European football. Like, you don't get that closeness. And I think when you're talking about connection, I just think it was awesome. So I love it when an owner is kind of very in the picture and hands-on and seen. I think that's so important for players in terms of investment on the pitch and off it. I think you get more from a player if you have that.
Oh, for sure. 100%. I like what producer Mark just asked. What happens if Kang has two teams in Champions League, Lyon and the Lionesses? You think she'll wear like that double jersey? Like it's
split.
like split? Like
Split down the middle.
If they play each other, for sure, she'll have it split right down the middle. I mean, what is the realistic finish at the end of the WSL for London City? What is realistic for them in the table?
I can see them pushing for Champions League. I'm looking at even the top four of this year, where it was Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Man United. The drop off after the top four, it was quite a big gap in points. Yeah. So they'll be pushing for top four. Whether they get Champions League is another question. But do I think they can break into that top 5, top 6? 100%. It's doable.
Yeah, Man City in 4th place at 40 points, and then Brighton right behind them in 28th. I mean, Brighton had a turnaround this season as well. That's a big gap. But can London City compete? Can they break into that top 4?
Listen, see the rumor mill of potential players that we just went. Maybe they all got London City Lionesses, and then we're all laughing.
There you go.
It depends who they bring in. To answer your question, it depends who they bring in. But I think they've got all the attraction. You see the positivity around them. To get experienced players, I think it's 519 caps international caps between Aslani, Kumagai, and Yak. That is incredible. To already have that level of experience, to build on that, it's an amazing foundation that they've already set. So I'm excited to see who they bring in, and I think they can compete 100%.
You mentioned, Jen, earlier that Michelle Kang and the things that she's done and the things that this team has done is unheard of in European soccer. Yeah, I think that is something that Kang thrives on, having something that has not been done before and wanting to do it, wanting to execute it. And now she has done it with the London City Lionesses being their first time promoted into the top flight WSL, and also being the first team in the WSL with no affiliation to a men's club. Congratulations, London City Lionesses. We are so excited to watch you ball out in the WSL. They're going to play their home matches at Hayes Lane, which they share with the League Two side, Bromley. It's about 5,000 capacity. Guys, go sell it out. Go sell it out. That would make Michelle Kang very happy.